Recording in progress.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Nama Om Vishnupadaya कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Okay, so we had started with chapter 2, canto 1, verse 2. Okay, so by now we know the 6 questions that were asked by the sages. What is the ultimate good for all people in general? What is the essence of all scriptures? Why did Krishna take birth from the womb of Mother Devaki? And what are the various incarnations of Krishna? And what are the activities of Krishna and Balaram, the superhuman acts? And where did the religious principles took shelter after Krishna departed to his own abode? Right, so 6 questions, and then Suta Goswami is very, very elated actually to hear all these questions. Why? Because these questions directly relate to the personality of Godhead, and they are for benefit of the humanity, for everybody's benefit. And such questions, when we ask, we bring auspiciousness. Whatever is related to Krishna is auspicious always, because he is the purest of pure personality. So we completed text 1 which was really small purport, just one line. So Suta Goswami thanked the sages, and then he started to attempted to reply. So second verse, Suta uvacha यं प्रवजन्तमनुपेतम् अपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुस्तं सर्वभूतहृदय मुनिमानतोऽस्मि. Suta Goswami uvacha said, Yam, whom, Pravajantam, while going away for the renounced order of life, Anupetam, without being reformed by the sacred thread, Apeta, not undergoing ceremonies, Kratyam, prescribed duties, Dvaipayanaha, Vyasdev, Viraha, separation, Kataraha, being afraid of, Ajuhava, exclaimed, Putraiti, O my son, Tad mayataya, being absorbed in that way, Taravaha, all the trees, Abhineduhu, responded, Tam, unto him, Sarva, all, Bhuta, living entities, Rudayam, heart, Munim, sage, Anataha asmi, offer obeisances. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Suta Goswami said, Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto that great sage Shukadev Goswami, who can enter the hearts of all. When he went away to take up the renounced order of life, sannyas, leaving home without undergoing reformation by the sacred thread or the ceremonies observed by the higher caste, his father, Vyasdev, fearing separation from him, cried out, O my son! Indeed, only the trees which were absorbed in the same feelings of separation echoed in response to the bereaved father. So he is saying that let me offer my respectful obeisances to great sage Shukadev Goswami, who can enter the hearts of all. So his guru can enter the hearts of every living being. He can know like what is in their heart, and he is also introducing Shukadev Goswami to all of us. Yes, Prabhu, you can read the purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
The intuition of Varna and asrama prescribes many regulative duties to be observed by its followers. Such duties enjoin that a candidate willing to study the Vedas must approach a bona fide spiritual master and request acceptance as his disciple. The sacred thread is the sign of those who are competent to study the Vedas from the Acharya, or the bona fide spiritual master. Sri Sukadev Goswami did not undergo such purificatory ceremonies because he was liberated soul from his very birth. Generally, a man is born as an ordinary being, and by the purificatory process he is born for the second time. When he sees a new light and seeks direction for his spiritual progress, he approaches a spiritual master for instruction in the Vedas. The spiritual master accepts only the sincere inquirer as his disciple and gives him the sacred thread. In this way, a man becomes twice born, or Dvija. After qualifying as a Dvija, one may study the Vedas, and after becoming well versed in the Vedas, one becomes a Vipra. A Vipra or a qualified Brahmana, thus realizes the Absolute and makes further progress in his spiritual life until he reaches the Vaishnava stage. The Vaishnava stage is the postgraduate status of Brahmana. A progressive Brahmana must necessarily become a Vaishnava, for a Vaishnava is a self-realized learned Brahman. Srila Sukha Goswami was a Vaishnava from the beginning, therefore, there was no need for him to undergo all the process of Varna, Varnasrama institution. Ultimately, the aim of Varnashrama dharma is to turn a crude man into a pure devotee of the Lord, or a Vaishnava. Anyone, therefore, who becomes a Vaishnava accepted by the first-class Vaishnava or Uttam Adhikari, Vaishnava is already considered a Brahmana, regardless of his birth or past deeds. Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted this principle and recognized Srila Haridas Thakur as the Acharya of the holy name. Although Thakur Haridas appeared in the Mohammedan family. In conclusion, Srila Sukadev Goswami was born a Vaishnava and therefore Brahmanism was included in him. He did not have to undergo any ceremonies. Any low-born person, he is be he uh, be he Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasa, Abhira, Subha, Yavana, Khasa, or even lower, can be delivered to the highest transcendental positions by the mercy of Vaishnava. Srila Sukadev Goswami was the spiritual master of Sri Suta Goswami, who therefore offers his respectful obeisances onto Srila Sukadev Goswami before he begins his answers to the questions of the sages of Naimisharanya.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Nice reading.
Namaste.
So yeah, here they are introducing us to Srila Shukadev Goswami, and Prabhupada ji is telling us that why these sacred ceremonies are important. Like we all know, there is a Garbhadan Samskar, and then there is like after
Janev.
birth. Yeah, after birth there are some samskaras, name giving, right, and
Right.
annaprashan, and vidyarambha, and then there is upanayan, right. So all these rituals, the Shukadev Goswami didn't have to go because when he was born, he was 16 years old. So he didn't want to come out of womb of his mother because he was not wanting to get affected by the Maya, the material world. So he was not coming out, but on the like plea of Vyasadeva, his incarnation of Krishna himself, he came, and on blessing of Krishna that he will never be affected by Maya. So he came, but as soon as he came out, he just started walking to take sannyas, means in the forest. So that time, that's the situation where Prabhupada ji is mentioning that he didn't need all those purificatory ceremonies because he was already a Vaishnava. He was already on a highest level. So now Prabhupada is telling us that when one gets initiation, so he becomes a Dvija, and that too Brahmanical initiation, right? Oh no, yeah. So Dvija, and then one becomes a Brahmana upon second initiation, and then after the last stage is actually Vaishnava. So Vaishnava is like, this is all cultivation of bhakti qualities, right? Then one becomes a Vaishnava. So he was already on that state. He was already on that stage. So he was already Uttam Adhikari. Uttam means like highest, and Kanishtha and Madhyama Adhikaris are lower and middle. So also the example of Haridas Thakur has been given, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him a title of Namacharya. So he was so attached to chanting the holy names of the Lord that he will chant almost 300,000 names per day, which is like 192 rounds, which is like all 24 hours he was chanting, just barring a few, like a little bit meal or some daily necessities. Otherwise, he was all the time chanting, right? So he's saying that any low-born person, even like somebody is born in non-Vaishnava or non-Brahmana family, even they can be raised. So similarly, Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulakasha, these are all the races, different races, which are lower caste actually. So Huna means like in northern Germany or something. Sachinandan Maharaj was mentioning that. And Andhra, we know, like, the south side in India. So, and these others I don't know, but yeah, these are all different. Yavana, we know, like these Yavans means mostly Mohammedans. So these all so it doesn't matter. Actually, the meaning of this is not to judge anybody with their birth, but the actual meaning is that anyone can go to transcendental position by mercy of Vaishnavas, who are people of God, right? So they can deliver God to others. So that's what the meaning is. So now Shukdev Goswami was spiritual master of Suta Goswami. So this way Suta Goswami is remembering all this about Shukdev Goswami, that how pure he is, pure personality, and he offering respectful obeisances to him. And then he will begin answering the. So this is what we are learning, that when we also are sharing Krishna consciousness with others, we can never think that, oh, we are doing something good for them. We are nobody to be able to do good for anybody. Actually, we are just a conduit of that mercy, just that pipe, of that mercy which is flowing from Krishna to all these guru parampara, and that is a little bit of water is coming through us. I mean, whenever we are sharing Krishna consciousness with others. So this is what we are learning, that we must offer our obeisances to our guru before we start any service. that brings blessing and auspiciousness. And we should teach this to our children as well, right? To bring blessings and auspiciousness in their lives as well. So let's move on to next verse. Yeah, Shilpi Mataji, would you like to read?
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
1.2.3. या या सानुभावम् अखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अधितर सतां तमोऽन्धम् संसारिणां करुणायाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्यास सुनुम् उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम् यह ही who swa anubhavam bhavam self assimilated experience akhila all around shruti the vedas saram cream ekam the only one adhyatma transcendental deepam torchlight ati ati tir satam desiring to overcome tamaha andham deeply dark material existence samsarinam of the materialistic men, karunaya of the out of causeless mercy, aha said Puran supplement to the Vedas, Guhyam very confidential, tam unto him, Vyas sunam sunum sunum the son of Vyasdeva Upayami, let me offer my obeisances, Gurum, the spiritual master, Maninam of the great sages. Translation: let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, Shukar, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasadeva, who out of his great compassion for those gross materialistic who struggle to cross over the darkest region of material existence spoke this most confidential supplement to the cream of Vedic knowledge after having personally assimilated it by experience. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this prayer, Srila Sutta Goswami practically summarizes the complete introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural supplementary commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. The Vedanta Sutras or the Brahma Sutras were compiled by Vyasadeva with a view to presenting just the cream of Vedic knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on this cream. Srila Sukadev Goswami was a thoroughly realized master on the Vedanta Sutra, and consequently, he also personally realized the commentary Srimad Bhagavatam. And just to show his boundless mercy upon bewildered materialistic men who want to cross completely over innocence, he recited for the first time this confidential knowledge. There is no point in arguing that a materialistic man can be happy. No materialistic creature, be he the great Brahma or an insignificant ant, can be happy. Everyone tries to make a permanent plan for happiness, but everyone is baffled by the laws of material nature. Therefore, the materialistic world is called the darkest region of God's creation. Yet, the unhappy materialist can get out of it simply by desiring to get out. Unfortunately, they are so foolish that they do not want to escape. Therefore, they are compared to the camel who relishes thorny twigs. Because he likes the taste of the twigs mixed with blood, he does not realize that it is his own blood and that his tongue is being cut by the thorns. Similarly, to the materialist, his own blood is as sweet as honey, and although he is always harassed by his own material creation, he does not wish to escape. Such materialists are called karmis. Out of hundreds of thousands of karmis, only a few may feel tired of material engagement and desire to get out of the labyrinth. Such intelligent persons are called jnanis. The Vedanta Sutra is directed to such jnanis, but Srila Vyasadeva, being the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, could foresee the misuse of the Vedanta Sutra by unscrupulous men, and therefore he personally supplemented the Vedanta Sutra with the Bhagavad Purana. It is clearly said that this Bhagavatam is the original commentary on the Brahma Sutras. Srila Vyasadeva also instructed the Bhagavatam to his own son Srila Sukdev Goswami, who was already at the liberated stage of transcendence. Srila Sukadev realized it personally and then explained it. By the mercy of Srila Sukadev, the Bhagavata Vedanta Sutra is available for all those sincere souls who want to get out of material existence. Srimad Bhagavatam is the one unrivaled commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Shankaracharya intentionally did not touch it because he knew that the natural commentary would be difficult for him to surpass. He wrote his Shari- Shariraka Bhashya, and his so called followers depreciated the Bhagavatam as some new presentation. One should not be misled by such propaganda. Uh, Propaganda directed against the Bhagavatam by the Mayavadi school. From this introductory shloka, the beginning student should know that Srimad Bhagavatam is the only transcendental literature meant for those who are Paramhansas and completely freed from the material disease called malice. The Mayavadis are envious of the personality of Godhead, despite Sripada Sankaracharya admission that Narayana, the personality of Godhead, is above the material creation. The envious Mayavadi cannot have access to Bhagavatam, but those who are really anxious to get out of this material existence may take shelter of this Bhagavatam because it is uttered by the liberated Srila Sukadev Goswami. It is the transcendental torchlight by which one can see perfectly the transcendental absolute truth realized as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. Thank you, Mataji.
Oh, Hari Bol. Long purport. Yeah. So this was very moving for me. Out of his great compassion for those gross materialistic who struggle to cross over the darkest material region of material existence. So Shukadev Goswami is so compassionate. So um, he spoke this confidential supplement to the cream of Vedic knowledge. That means Vedanta Sutras. So Sutras means like very quick, sutras of realizations or the formula of self-realization. But they are so compacted, they are so packed that it's not easy for anybody simply to understand unless they are like a very very elevated platform. So therefore commentary is required on that, right, like purports. So Shukadev Goswami, yeah, he gave I mean Vyasdev gave the Vedanta Sutras, and then Shukdev Goswami told the commentary on that. Of course, that was also given by Vyasdev, but he assimilated it and then shared it by his own realization. Right? So, this is very, very important here. So, here Vedanta Sutra, about Vedanta Sutra is given that these are the sutras of for self realization, and Srila Shukdev Goswami was thoroughly realized master on this, right? And so he personally realized the commentary Srimad Bhagavatam, which was given by Vyasdev, and by his realization he was speaking. Now this is very important here. Unhappy materialistic can get out of it material world by desiring to get out, right? And unfortunately they are so foolish that they do not want to escape. So this is like, we are very complacent with our family situation. When very difficult conditions come, then we get like shaken up, but until that point everybody is happy in their families like that, so they don't feel a much need of urgent spiritual progress. Yes, we are doing something, but there is no urgency. We are thinking that it's okay, whatever works out, whatever happens. But definitely, I mean, we are trying our best, but we need to think that how can we increase more so that we can go closer to Krishna, right? So we have to simply desire. So eagerness is the cost, right? We have discussed it earlier also. So yeah, the analogy of camel has been given, like how he is tasting his own blood. And materialist people also really can run around all the time. Their sweat, they are just enjoying their own sweat. It's just like that. Okay, and then Vedanta Sutra is it is original commentary on Brahma Sutras or Vedanta Sutra, same thing, Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra. So Bhagavatam is original commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. So Shukdev Goswami has already liberated, but when Vyasdev explained him Srimad Bhagavatam, he realized it, right? And then he's sharing. And then also Prabhupada covered about the Mayavadi people, that they knew that this is a natural commentary. Bhagavatam is natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. But Vedanta Sutra is like something like very compacted philosophy. And Mayavadi people are more interested in jnana, so they are also called as jnanis, right? So therefore they think that Bhagavatam is like anything sweet, they think that it's just for dumb people, anything sweet. But anything like which requires a lot of brain and knowledge and intelligence, that's for smart people, that's what they feel. So that's why they wanted to give a commentary on Vedanta Sutra, their own commentary. But Sripad Shankaracharya, who is the originator of this Shankar philosophy, which is Mayavada school, so he knew that he will not be able to surpass this because this is natural commentary, and Vyasdeva has given this in his full maturity of his realization. So then he wrote Shariraka Bhashya. Okay, and then his followers followed that, and they think that Bhagavatam is a new presentation, so they pose Bhagavatam like that. So we should not be misled by such kind of propaganda, because Prabhupada is directly saying that the beginning student, which we are all, so we should know that Bhagavatam is only transcendental literature meant for those who are Paramahamsas and completely freed from material. This is called malice, right? So this is meant for those kind of devotees, and we are reading means we are on that path, right? We are trying to follow into their footsteps. We also want to get rid of the envy in our heart, so that we can love Krishna really, not just do something ritualistically, right? So Mayavadis are envious. Why they are called as envious? Because they say that Krishna doesn't have a form. So it is very like offensive mentality basically. And they also say that Krishna has taken a material body when he came to this earth, and then when Maya was removed from him, then he also merged. So they say that everybody is God and everybody will merge into one Brahman, right? So they don't count Krishna as a personality. So that is envious disposition. Although Shankaracharya has said that Narayan, he has, despite Sripad Shankaracharya's admission that Narayan is the personality of Godhead. Okay, so they do not have access to the sweetness of Bhagavatam. I mean, they do have access to Bhagavatam, but what Prabhupada is meaning is the juice, the rasa, right? That they don't have access to that. But if we are really anxious, then again the topic of eagerness is coming. To get out of this material existence may take shelter of this Bhagavatam, because it is uttered by liberated Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Even he was on such a topmost platform, still he was so attracted by Bhagavatam. So this is the transcendental torchlight by which we can see perfectly the absolute truth realized in 3 stages: Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So we will stop here today. Just 2 verses we did, but that's okay. Long purports and very important. So anybody wants to share anything? So text 2 was that he is remembering about Shukadeva Goswami and how Shukadeva Goswami is a pure and realized soul. He is remembering everything, and then he is offering his obeisances. And then next verse we read about this Bhagavatam. And this line is very important. Akhila Shruti Saram Ekam. So Shrutis are there, and it is the Sar or essence of all the Shrutis. Ekam means only one. right? So this Srimad Bhagavatam is wonderful literature, and we are trying to take shelter. So we are very, very fortunate. Anybody wants to share anything? Any comments?
I can only say one thing, Mataji, which strike me is like, though Srila Sukha Goswami was such a at a high position, but still before doing anything, he was remembering his guru, his master, Srila Sukadeva Goswami. So it's really, uh, you can say, I mean, it's very humble, or it's very nice and most important, I believe.
Yes, yes.
Very nice.
So they are showing by their example that how we should act when we start some service. Yes, very nice, Prabhu. Very nice.
Mataji, I have the realization from the second verse. I'm so grateful to Prabhupada that by which through him like we can read the Bhagavatam. Otherwise, those complicated words, Shariraka Bhasha, which we are not able to even pronounce, like I cannot even dare to go and read those ones. So I'm very grateful to Srila Prabhupada.
Of course, yes. We all, yeah. यदि प्रभुपाद न होते तो क्या होता? Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so we will stop here. I will see you on Monday. Thank you so much for joining, although we just had our poll today. But I appreciate your enthusiasm. Thank you so much for your association. Vancha kalpatarubhesha.
Kripa Sindhu Pech,
Pativanam Bhavane
Vaishnava.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.